So I'm lucky enough to have Steve Hess here in class with us at the Mastery Program, and we're going to. He's been kind enough to offer us a little interview because he works with the NBA. How long have you been with the
19
NBA?
years.
19 years in the NBA, or just with this one team?
One team in the NBA.
No kidding.
Yeah.
They haven't fired you yet?
I look pretty good for that old, right?
I'm just saying, you don't look a day over 80.
That's what I'm saying. I look good.
You look awesome. That's what I always tell people. So, but his experiences with the NBA have been really interesting because I know that you, with that long history, have had a lot of traditional thoughts thrown out back in the beginning, and certainly at other levels like college and high school and all that kind of stuff, where people were training their athletes, specifically in your case basketball players, professional basketball players, with a lot of ideas that seem rational or seemed rational at the time. And along the way, you guys, through some legitimate research and statistics, have found that a lot of those things don't pan out.
Absolutely. I mean, the cool thing is you get a big picture, and I'm not saying the picture's always wrong, always right, but we have an ability through knowledge and a great staff to analyze each component and then put in our pieces. So what ends up happening is you get this broad spectrum of what you should be doing. Now what I've found is the what you should be doing doesn't always run true. And the biggest fallacy in the whole thing is I've been now doing this for 19 years, I've been in the profession for like 30, I've never ever seen two bodies exactly the same, ever. So how can we possibly...
Wait, they're all tall though,
that's
right?
They're all tall. Well, everyone's tall and everyone's taller than me, so that's the one thing. But if you put it in... So my whole thing is you get a protocol that you now have to stick in to fit everybody. It doesn't even make sense to me. So we've been able to adjust it within the realm of the things we still have to do. And again, the cool thing is, like I'm sitting here and this is a great class, but there are a lot of concepts that I'm now able to evoke that weren't my invention. You know, I've got a lot of things from a lot of great people.
Well, it seems like you've always, as long as I've known you, you've participated in a wide variety of things.
Yep.
To soak up, what can I get from each one of these deals, not assuming that anyone's going to become your religion for training these guys, right? Because there's a little bit something from every source, probably, that helps you out. From various educational things.
Here's the coolest thing is, so my whole view is if you have a broad spectrum, you can draw your own conclusions. So I got 15 guys, and on a day when they've had, let's say, 5 games in 7 nights, and it's a shoot around, and they all want to shoot you, I may not lay them on the ground, or I may do my preparation to do work maybe a little different than if we had more time. So you've got to be adaptable, you have to be creative, and if you have a broad scope of information to draw from, you can somehow make better decisions. Not always the right decisions, but it gives you that ability.
So it's kind of just like we talk about in class for your average real person. There's this, should be, sounds like from you, a trial and error process that really helps you hone in on the individual and their, well, like we talk about squats, we talk about segmental proportions, and most people think, well, everybody's 6'9" or 7 foot, so they're going to proportions, they're going to squat the same, but you probably find that within that height, their pieces are different from person to person.
So this goes back to the whole educational piece. There are a lot of things I didn't conceptualize, and now that you look at their femur or their thigh in relation to their tibia, I got a 7'1" guy, Joffrey, freaking nature squatting. I mean, it's parallel, and he's got a little trunk. I mean, he can squat all day. Then I've got some other guys, Wilson Chandler, whose femur is so long, and the folding aspect of it, it's just not a great exercise for him. Should he never do it? No, but we modify his range.
And that's the big thing, right? It's making it work for them.
That's what I'm saying, but the other concepts again, and you know, like dumbbells, and you're looking about force application. If you get one dumbbell and have him squat with the dumbbell, I'm watching it work better. And it's the same as lunges. If we're going to initiate a lunge, if we take a wider stance, it's more for a strength profile than if it was closer, that'd be more balanced. These are some things we apply, and I see them actually zoning in and making better gains. But again, this is through a knowledge base where I've tried both ways. And I'm not saying this is better or that's worse. I'm saying I've tried both ways, and for this particular thing, this works better. So like, here's even what I'm saying. Like, I kind of feel like now we're getting a little bit too much in the NBA with the prehab and bands, and I'm cool with anything. But I just want to make...
As long as it works.
Yeah. And as long as the people that are applying it know what load to place where. And that's where I'm like, that's why I love doing things where you're learning more about what to do and when to do it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.